Hello everyone and welcome to another interview. Today our guest is Zesty Jesus. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Zesty for short at this point because I think everyone cuts off the Jesus now because Zesty Jesus is just too long. And I make videos about video games, mostly Team Fortress 2 on YouTube. And yeah, that's pretty much all you should know about me.
So, talking about TF2, why and when did you start playing the game?
Oh man, oh jeez. I think my first exposure to Team Fortress 2 was around 2009 when a buddy of mine got a copy of the Orange Box, and I went over his house to play it, and he had TF2 on the Xbox 360. I'm like, oh man, this is really cool. But then like for a year, we didn't touch it again until we started seeing all of these Gmod animations popping up on YouTube all over the place, and like the Meet the Team shorts were getting really popular on YouTube at the time, and it sucked me back in. And that's when I actually really started playing the game a lot. It was like about half a year before it went free to play, I think. Somewhere around there, yeah.
Alright, I see. So you've been playing TF2 for quite a long while. What is still what is still keeping you in the game?
I mean, the game is just good. Nothing else really comes close to the type of itch it scratches. It's just a really solid game with no bullshit. So it's just fun.
So, over the years, you obviously seen a lot of TF2 updates, well, obviously not recently, but what would you say was the worst and the best one?
Oh, well, I mean, the obvious answer for the worst update ever was Meet Your Match. That is what, Meet Your Match is bad, man. Meet Your Match was the update where I think a vast majority of the player base who's been around for a long time, the long haulers, will always point to that update as the beginning of the end. Because TF2's maintenance and treatment and quality of updates just went on the decline after the abysmal failure that was that update. I'm not to say the entire update was bad. It certainly brought some welcome changes, like being able to pick the map you want to play whenever you want to, boot up casual or what have you. But it did way more damage than good. So, and I think by far that's like the worst update the game's ever received. But my favorite update, I think the update that I will always fondly remember is one of the best, was Gunmetal. And even though Gunmetal was just Valve back incorporating all of the monetization schemes that were successful in CSGO at the time, you had operations and contracts and then skins, rewards and all that. They just put that into TF2 because, hey, it works in CSGO. Let's put it in TF2, right? It'll be fine. And it was really fun. It breathed much needed life into the game at the time, and even though it wasn't a massive change, just having like these little goals to complete with these neat little rewards you could get at the end was a really fun experience at the time. And I just remember heavily anticipating when the next contracts were going to drop. And then a close second, like a tie, I have to say, was Invasion. Like when Invasion came later that year, that was like the first really heavily themed update, and man, that was fun. Content-wise, it wasn't like massive or game-changing, but just like the visuals and the feel of it, and kind of like the hype and the leaks and all that other kind of behind-the-scenes shit that was going down. That was also a really fun time for sure.
Yeah, I also like Gunmetal because I actually started playing the game one day before it dropped. So I also have I have fond memories of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you came in like right at the peak of TF2 updates, man. That was like the heyday for the game. That was when it had like the highest amount of good appraisals and what have you before it started kind of going down.
Yeah, I remember Meet Your Match. I was as disappointed as you.
Yeah, that was oh my god, that was a shit show. It was a shit show for a lot of reasons, man. It was, first you had the fact that it was broken on launch, right? Meet Your Match was broken on launch. It took forever to get into a game. It had been in this beta for a long time, so you think they would have ironed out all the kinks, but it had issues on launch, and it introduced a new system that completely tore the entire player base away from what they were used to for the past 8 years, and that was quickplay, right? It's kind of like, I don't know if you're familiar with this thing that Coca-Cola did in like the 80s. They had like Coca-Cola, but then they thought, hey, in order to compete with other brands, why don't we change the formula of Coke and call it New Coke, right? And yeah, they had this thing called New Coke, and then fucking like a lot of people were pissed that they changed what they were all used to and what they enjoyed. And then Coke at least kind of backpedaled and said, okay, we screwed up. But not Valve. Valve just kind of held to their guns and stuck with this horrific skill-based matchmaking system that to this day still does not work. It's horrible.
Yeah, so. Quick play, in my opinion, was just a better system for the type of game TF2 is.
Oh, absolutely, I agree. And it's like the quick play system obviously had flaws. Like the two big ones being you couldn't pick the map you wanted to play on. Again, one of the good things that came out of Meet Your Match. But it also would put you into random community servers that were like modded or had custom content. Like you get put in like a Ponyville server or something, or like an all crit server.
Sorry to interrupt. You remind me of a story when I was like just starting playing the game. I clicked on quick play and I got put into a Pony RP server. That was something.
Yeah, I've had many an experience like that too, man. Where you get thrust into a game, you see pony models walking around, you're like, what the fuck is going on? Dude?
The only thing I remember, sorry again, I remember I threw Girotti at someone and I got banned immediately.
Dude, I remember getting into a community server one time some years ago, and I think I just started talking into my mic, like I just said like, hey, what's up? And they instantly banned me. I'm like, what did I do? I don't know what I did wrong. So yeah, it was a wild time because you didn't know what you were getting into, but most of the time it was fun. But every now and again you'd get put into one of those weird servers, you know. But then that's the problem, right? It's like, how much better is it than now, because you get put into so many games now with the casual system where the server is empty or the game has just ended, so you're getting taken off the map you want to play anyways, right? Or you get put into a game that's a complete stomp or a roll because we all know skill-based matchmaking is the innovative future of multiplayer games, right? It has to work for every video game title. But yeah, so you have the amount of times you have to re-queue to get a good game in casual is probably about the amount of times you have to re-queue in quick play to get a good game. It made no significant change, and if anything, it just made things worse because it killed community servers. So, yeah, it will always stand as the biggest fuck up from Valve that the game never recovered from.
Yeah, I do agree, but enough of talking about quick play. If you got in charge of TF2 development, what would you do in the first place? Like, immediately, what would you do?
Oh god, fix the bots. Like I would if I was given the game, I would pour any and all resources and time and manpower into anti-cheat and just making sure that the game is playable. Because even now, and it's as of late, bot activity is picking up again. There has been an influx of human cheaters where in pretty much every game you get into, there's always at least one closet cheater or a bot that appears. And that shouldn't be happening. And that would be like the #1 priority on my list, given infinite time and resources to fix the issue. Absolutely. And then nerf sniper, of course, because that's like the expected response that I have, right?
How would you personally nerf sniper? Because you commented on one of my videos. You know that I made videos about balance modes, and many people tried to nerf him, but nobody just got it correctly. Nobody liked it.
It sucks because it's Sniper's in this interesting position where his mechanics basically haven't been changed for the entire game, for the entire lifespan of the game. So putting in any kind of change is going to be so jarring for people that are used to him that they're not going to like it, even though it would be better for the balancing of the game. People are still going to be resistant to that change because Sniper's just been the same for so long, right? So every change that has been proposed or has been implemented in balance mods or modded servers or what have you instantly receives pushback because people just are used to being able to scope in and instantly deal 150 damage without any kind of resistance from anyone unless they're right next to them, right? That's just what people are used to. But I don't know. And there are so many ways that people have proposed to nerf sniper. I say nerf quickscoping because I think it just it needs to be slowed down, and I will stand by that until the end of time. I still think that needs to be changed. Other people suggest reducing his damage, reducing his ammo count, reducing his movement speed, reducing his own max health. There's been a lot of proposed changes, and I think at this point, any kind of nerf, even a slight one, just to make his presence more tolerable would be a welcome change.
I see. But let's talk about your YouTube channel for a bit. Did you have another YouTube channel before your current one?
Yes.
Did you make any videos on it?
Yes. They are lost to time, my friend. They are long gone, and I really regret not archiving those videos, because that was when I was still trying to figure out just what the heck I was doing with making videos. Because when I started making videos, I was in my college dorm room, and I was watching a lot of, like, you know, clip dump videos that came from like Tag mostly, because he's still a funny guy. His streams are great, but he did clip dump videos of TF2 where he was just dicking around either with himself or with his friends, and I'm like, man, that looks like a lot of fun. I'm gonna do that, and I started making videos like that, and they were really fun. But that's what I started with, and then I just started making like random shit posts and like syncing up market garden kills to music. It was really, really bad, horrible editing, because I just had no idea what I was doing at the time. But I forgot why I deleted that channel. I don't remember what I did, but at some point in like 2016, I got rid of it. I don't remember why. It's bothering me that I don't remember. But there is actually one video I managed to salvage from that channel. It's like one of the first 2 videos, I think, on my current channel right now. So there is, no, I lied. There's a couple of videos I managed to save from that channel. It's the former glory of community servers was one of the videos that I will always hold as like one of the favorite videos I've ever made, just because it's like this time capsule of what the game used to look like. So it's on there. I have a couple of nuggets from back then.
So for how long in total have you been doing YouTube?
Since 2012, so 10 years.
But what would you say was the video that made you think, wow, I also need to make YouTube videos?
Like, what video did I see that someone else made?
Oh, yes, or maybe one of the videos you made that did very well, and you decide, wow, I need to continue doing this.
So, I guess 2 answers to that, because like the guy who inspired me to do it in the first place was Tag, because I still find his content hilarious. He's a funny guy, and I'm like, and again, I told myself, man, I want to do that too. So that got me started. But then when I realized that I could kind of apply my analytical side of my brain that I use in my real job to like talking about the game, I'm like, oh hey, that's it. And that kind of set me into like the more commentary video essay style of video. So, and then the one that kind of solidified that was the right way to be doing things, or not the right way, but like a good way of doing things, was the video I made about the Liberty Launcher versus Rocket Launcher, that I do want to remake at some point because it's just really old and really bad. But that was the first time I did an analytical video like that, and people liked it, and I enjoyed making it, and I was like, okay, that's the working formula, and I'm going to stick with it.
I see. But have you ever thought of closing your YouTube channel for whatever reason?
No, not really. I've never had the desire to quit. I mean, I kind of say it as a joke, like a half joke inside of my Discord, that if I ever make 100,000 subscribers, I'm gonna quit. I mean, I'm not going to, but no, I've never had a strong desire to like drop YouTube altogether. I mean, eventually I'm gonna not have time for it, or I'm gonna become uninterested in it, but I don't see that happening for a long time.
I see, but let's get to the more controversial part, because there's a lot of drama surrounding your name for whatever reason. Yeah, just why? Genuinely, why?
You tell me, man. You tell me. Shit, why? It's funny because it's like there's a lot of drama surrounding it. It's like, okay, what piece are you referring to? And I think, just to boil things down, people enjoy a villain. People enjoy like having this enemy to dogpile on, especially in the modern state of the internet with social media and, you know, just how social media culture works with these emotional reactionary responses to actions that people commit, and people give these emotional reactions and responses without really reading or trying to understand what's going on or trying to gain some better understanding as to what they're talking about before they react to it. And that in general fuels a lot of online drama, and my case is no different, where people see something that someone said that I did or something that I said, and without understanding the context or the truth behind the situation, they immediately like bandwagon on this accountability culture, cancel culture shit show of a train, and then just start dogpiling like shit. Just like a couple weeks ago now, it's like I said Fortnite is bad, and like I got bitch slapped by a tidal wave of angry children on Twitter because I said that I don't like the influence their game has, and if like my favorite anime character gets put into it, I can't like the character anymore. And it was like a joke. It wasn't meant to be like this. You're like, I'm not actually going to start disliking this character because they get put into Fortnite. But of course, the way Twitter works and the way the internet works, people don't think, they just react and lose their shit over the most mundane of things, right? And try to make it into something bigger than it actually is. People love doing that. And again, it all boils back down to people wanting a villain, you know? And people enjoy that. So I think that's the main reason why I'm at the receiving end of so much drama. And also my opinions tend to be very strong and against what some would call the norm. And that is normal, to kind of be resistant to things that are widely accepted in like a quote-unquote community. Like if you present something that dissents from that, you're gonna get pushback. So that's also another reason. So that's my interpretation of it.
I see. But did you receive any actual threats because of stupid internet drama?
Oh, absolutely. Like if you should see the shit I got in my emails, in my DMs. I had someone show up at my apartment and leave a note on my door. I won't repeat the contents of said note, but it more or less boiled down to saying, I hope you die. And yeah, so yeah, when you piss off a lot of people on the internet, you're gonna see the worst side of people almost always. So it's not fun.
You said that someone came to your door. Were you doxxed or something?
Yeah, I was. I had not only was I doxxed, but they also found my phone number, and someone spoofed it to where I had to call my phone company and have them change my number. And someone also found my IP address, and that's, I think, how they found my address. I don't know for sure, but they also started DDoSing my home address, so my internet couldn't work. So I had to call my ISP and then have them change my IP so I could use the internet again. I had to close my work email because of the influx of just awful shit people were sending. Yeah, so don't say Fortnite is bad, kids, and don't use bad words from 5 years ago, because when people find out, they will be very upset. Yeah.
If people find out what I said even 2 years ago, that would be fucking hellish. Anyway,
dude, it's so, can I just comment on that? It's so funny too, because all of these people who are getting mad at me for things I said, regardless of context, it doesn't matter, because trying to say in what context these words were in doesn't matter, because people have already convinced themselves of whatever my intentions were, regardless if they're true or not, right? But these people get mad at what I said years ago, right? When you know for a fact that all of these people were doing the exact same shit, or do the exact same shit. The only difference is that they found out that I was doing it, and I have a public platform, therefore I'm the perfect target. But they all do it. Everyone does it. Everyone said shit that would get them in hot water today. Everyone has skeletons in their closet, and everyone loves to pretend that they don't.
Yeah, considering I live in fucking Eastern Europe, I said a lot of shit back in the day. But let's get to the other point. Would you say that the entire drama shit started with Wamo, or was it something else?
No, it started before that with this with this this competitive scout guy by the name of JPEG. So I don't know if you're familiar with this, but long story short, my friend Aaron, he streams TF2 every week. He invited me on his streams back when I was a smaller channel, and I would play with him. And this competitive scout guy would frequent my friend's streams and would basically just shut down the server because, you know, people who treat the game like a job are very good at making the game not fun for everybody else. And people would often get mad at the guy, but even before I showed up. And then when I showed up, I vocalized my anger at this guy, and because everyone is always recording their screen, he recorded it of me getting pissed off at him in a game. And then he made a YouTube video about it, like, oh, hey, I'm pissing off a YouTuber. And then, not too long after, he showed his true cards to us in that he more or less just frequents different YouTubers' streams and their servers, mostly just to farm for reactions. And he turned out to be just a really big asshole and just not a nice guy. And people don't even want to consider that as the reason why we inevitably banned him from not only our Discords, but my friend Aaron's server, because he was just a jerk. Like, he's not someone that we wanted to be around. But of course, the way the internet works, he says, oh, I was banned because I was too good of a player, and therefore Zesty hates all competitive players and will always ban competitive players and has like this hate boner for anyone that plays competitive TF2 and will ban you if you're too good at the game. When no, we banned one guy from one community server for being an asshole. And this happened 3 years ago. And this guy has managed to make an entire internet presence around being the guy that pissed me off. And he would be completely irrelevant otherwise. And that's where it all started. And then from there, then Wamo picked up on it because he became buddy-buddy with this guy, and he talked with him, and then he made his video, and then it just snowballed from there. And of course, people never want to listen to this context or listen to my side because it's not the fun side to listen to. It's the mundane side, it's the truthful side, and not the epic drama side. It's like, hey, I'm sorry, JPEG's a dick. He's not a nice guy. That's why we banned him, not because he's good at the game. And yeah, that's it.
Did any of them actually said sorry for what happened?
No. Really?
No,
of course not. They got everything they wanted out of it. No one says sorry. No one said, like, and that's anyone when it comes to drama and cancel culture and all that. Even when the people who lead this stuff are in the wrong, they're not held accountable. They move on with their lives. They move on to the next thing. And the people who are on the receiving end of cancel culture and who are on the receiving end of all this drama, they're the ones whose, you know, emotions, their mentality, their online reputation, they're the ones that receive all of the damage. And they, like, we just have to suck it up and move on. And the guys who do it just keep on moving on with their lives, and they reap all the benefits and the rewards, which is incredibly frustrating, but you just eventually have to come to terms with that and move on, right? So no one has said sorry, and actually, another YouTuber friend of mine, who I will not say by name, actually spoke with Wamo after all of this, talking to him about the optics of what he said in the video about me, saying, hey, you made yourself look like an idiot, and Wamo's response was, well, it's good for viewer retention. So he more or less confirmed to a friend of mine that he only made that video to get views. And if you look at what he's doing now, he's since moved on from his TF2 channel. I think it's like, he runs a different YouTube channel now, but he basically does the same thing, where he just makes drama videos about YouTubers bigger than he is, and the only way that he can get views is by talking about the drama surrounding other people than himself. So he was developing his path to success, and now he's writing it. That's all it was.
I see. Would you say that people still care about that mostly irrelevant drama, let's be honest?
Say that again, sorry?
Do you think that people still care about this stupid internet drama?
No, yeah, I mean, I still see it all the time. And God, it gets really old because the internet never forgets, it never goes away, and it doesn't matter if you tell the truth, it doesn't matter how honest you are. No one cares. They've already made up their mind as to who you are and as to what you did, again, regardless if it's true or not, and they just run with it, and they don't let it go. Again, because people enjoy a villain, and they just keep going.
Yeah, I see. You mentioned before how internet people actually, doxed you, came to your house. Does your online activity affect your real life aside from those trolls?
Thankfully not. I'm glad it doesn't. The only time that my internet activities have bled over into my real life is via drama, and also them finding out where my parents live and threatening to come bring harm to my family. But beyond that, no. Being on YouTube has not impacted my real life. And actually, no one's ever recognized me or anything like that, and I'm kind of happy that that's the case. I don't want people to recognize me at this point.
I see. But what are your real life interests?
What are my real life interests? Oh man. So, for anyone that is familiar with the videos I make, they've probably heard me mention that I'm a geologist. That's my day job, is I study earthquakes. And I'm working on my PhD right now. And I study earthquakes, more specifically the ones that occur off the coast of Japan or off the northwest coast of the United States that are believed to influence when tsunamis happen. So my overall goal is to figure out, how, when, why, and where these earthquakes happen. So, but beyond my day job, I like anime and video games, yeah. And I'm outdoorsy. I like hiking. I like running. All that jazz.
Yeah, I see. But how hard is it to manage your time, considering you have to make YouTube content too?
You learn. You develop a balance. You prioritize your real life responsibilities first, and then with whatever time you have left, you put it towards YouTube. That's how I do it anyway. And you get better with time management the more you do it. When I first started, it was pretty rough, where I couldn't really divvy up my time properly, so it was kind of negatively impacting both ends, where I was either unsatisfied with the quality of the videos that I was making, or I was unsatisfied with the quality of work that I was doing with my day job. So the more you do it, the better you get at it, and I think now I'm in a comfortable spot where I can manage my time quite well.
I see. And now we have a final question. What is your favorite type of cheese? I need it for statistics.
So you posed this one to me, and I have an answer. There is so there's Jack cheese, right? It's like this white cheese, yeah. And there's a chain of grocery stores here in Texas that puts Carolina Reaper peppers into this cheese, and that shit is so good. Oh, it's spicy as hell. It'll nuke your mouth. But man, that's good shit. It's so good. It's really good.
Yeah, that sounds good. But anyway, thanks for coming and thanks for talking with me. Do you have any final words?
Any final thoughts? Honestly, not really. I mean, holidays are coming up, so happy holidays to anyone listening to this. And thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good evening.
Yeah.